with Pioneer Horsemanship. Today we're going to be talking about the disconnected horse. We're going to be talking about what disconnection looks like as well as why it may be happening. Connection is the root cause of whether your horse is with you or not with you. When I picture a really connected horse, I picture softness, I picture lightness, I picture easy transitions, I picture a horse that's very attentive to what its rider is wanting. I just picture kind of an overall harmonious outline of the horse. When I picture a horse that's disconnected, I picture a horse that isn't using its body very well, that isn't very engaged with the rider, that's bracy, that maybe has its mouth open, is gaping at the bit, maybe it's leaning toward the gate, maybe it's whinnying for his sprints. Those are the kind of behaviors that a disconnected horse would exhibit. More extreme examples of those might be bucking, bolting, spooking, barn sour behavior, them running back to the barn, those kind of things. All of those things, anything basically that you don't want your horse to be doing is a result of a lack of connection, that your horse does not have that connection with you. So I believe there's three main reasons of why horses become disconnected with their riders. Firstly, the horse might be in some kind of pain. It could have an ongoing lameness issue. It could have poor saddle fit. We'll get into all this in a minute. The horse also might just be confused. It could be the rider's asking too much of it for what it knows at the moment. It could be the rider's not very consistent. It could also be that the horse is afraid. So when they're genuinely afraid, and sometimes I think we as people are really guilty of trying to judge what a horse should and should not be afraid of. And we just have to live in the reality of, no, that plastic bag really did just scare my horse, and I have to honor that and help them through that fear and help them process that. So it could be that you lost the connection because the horse was afraid of the plastic bag. So there's three main reasons of why a horse might get disconnected from you. So let's dive a little deeper into the first one. So let's look at some possible causes of pain. This is not by any means an exhaustive list, and it is extremely important for you to build a network of professionals around yourself. So you need to have a really good vet that's good with lameness and with dentals and with internal medicine. They don't have to be the same vet necessarily. You also want to make sure you're partnering with a really good farrier that can help you through any issues that you might have that are hoof related, and get your horse really nice and balanced. A really balanced trim or shoe is essential to your horse's structural well-being. It's also really important that you have somebody who could do some type of body work on horses. I'm a very big believer in this, so whether they're a massage therapist or chiropractor, or you kind of use the whole gamut of options that you have available to you, sometimes these people can get a little bit more detail oriented on what might be causing your horse pain, and they can provide a lot of relief to your horse. So possible causes of pain might be poor saddle fit. It might be poor bit choice or a dental issue that the horse has. It could be an ongoing lameness that hasn't been diagnosed yet. It could be ulcers. So just keeping in mind that just because your horse is disconnected from you doesn't mean that they're being bad necessarily. It might just mean that they are in pain and they're trying to tell you that. So let's look at some common causes of confusion. Horses become confused for all kinds of reasons, but the bottom line, number one reason that a horse might get confused is lack of consistency from the rider. Consistency is the most important gift that you could ever give to your horse. Even a poor cueing system implemented consistently, a horse will figure out. They're very adaptable. So it's important, if you're feeling a little unsure about how you should be cueing your horse, you want to be as clear as possible, but you want to be consistent more than anything else. So just choose a way to ask for the trot, choose a way to ask your horse to stop until you have more information on how to do it better, and stay very, very consistent with how you ask. And your horse, you'll be amazed, your horse will start understanding you more and more. If you ask for everything differently each time, it's very hard for the horse to associate that cue with the behavior. Another common cause of horse confusion is the rider accidentally blocking the horse. An example of this might be a person's asking the horse to lower their head on the ground, and they're standing like right in the way of it being able to lower its head. So that's kind of an obvious mental image that I can give you. But this happens under saddle too. You might be sitting on the wrong seat bone asking the horse to side pass, and all of your weight is blocking the horse from being able to go sideways that direction. And then you're wondering why they're having so much trouble with this. So there's a lot of things that you can do biomechanically with your riding that helps your horse more. But again, I really want to stress, if you're not sure, just choose something and be consistent. Another common cause of disconnection is fear. So there's lots of reasons for why a horse might become afraid. It could be just a random thing that has happened. It could be their rider is abrupt or aggressive with them. It could be they're in pain. As we mentioned before, that can actually cause a horse to be afraid, not just generally defensive. It could be a lack of consistency from the rider. We talked about that before too. So a horse with that lack of consistency, they're either going to take over and do what they want to do, or they're going to become afraid and they're going to revert back to their fight or flight response. Another thing that I see a lot is just a general concern about herd mates. And a lot of times when we get this connection issue resolved, that goes away. A lot of times when you deep dive into why your horse might be in pain and try to resolve it, or why they might be confused and try to resolve it, the issue with them wanting to be back with the herd so badly a lot of times resolves itself because they're just in general more comfortable being with you. So to summarize this video, the three main reasons for disconnection are pain, confusion, and fear. And when we go through and try to figure out why these things are happening and address them, we, in the process, create a much more connected horse. I'm Ashley Purdon, and I'll see you around the barn or in my next video. Take care.